Okay, quick question. Have you ever thought about redoing your kitchen or renovating your bathroom right before selling your house? If you're nodding yes, I need you to hold on 1 second because I want to help you avoid spending thousands of dollars on something that you may not get your money back on. Today, we're going to be talking about what not to do before selling your home. I'm going to be breaking down some of the upgrades that feel like maybe they'll help you get a little bit more money, but in actuality, they're not going to help at all. And trust me, this advice could save you thousands of dollars and stress in the long run. So you're going to want to stay tuned to the end. Hey y'all, my name is Tierra.Hensley and I am a realtor here in the Middle Tennessee area. I'm helping people just like you buy, sell, and relocate to Middle Tennessee. I post weekly content to help you get familiar with the Middle Tennessee area. I'm talking buyer tips, seller tips, property tours, neighborhood tours, and if any of that sounds of interest to you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And also, don't forget to hit the bell so that you never miss an update. And if you're thinking about moving to the Middle Tennessee area and you need a little help or you have questions, you can send me a text message at 931-486-4537. I'm happy to help. And listen, I've seen quite a few different things. The overly renovated kitchen, the DIY kitchen renovation projects, and the sellers who are pouring money into all the wrong places. The fancy upgrades that buyers didn't even notice. Now let's go ahead and get into this very important information so that you don't waste any money. So we're gonna start with one of the bigger items, in-ground swimming pools. So if you're thinking about putting a pool in your home in ground because you think that it'll raise the value of your home, I'm going to gently say, please just don't. Now, according to the National Association of Realtors, the average homeowner only gets back about 56% of what they spent on a new in-ground pool when it comes to selling. And even then, the overall bump in the actual home value is only around 7%, if that. Now, in certain areas like upscale neighborhoods or warm weather states like Tennessee, a pool could actually help you sell faster, especially if most of the neighbors already have a pool. But of course, if you are in a cooler climate or your yard is on the smaller side, or if the pool hasn't been well maintained, of course, that could actually turn buyers off. Plus, the cost of having a pool does not stop at installation. You've got fencing, upkeep, heating, and insurance. A typical pool costs anywhere from $25,000 all the way up to $90,000 just to have installed. Then there's the monthly cost, anywhere from $80 to $150 a month to maintain it. That's before you add heating or maybe even adding a fancy slide to it. So unless you're adding a pool because you want to enjoy it for the next several years, it's probably not something that I would recommend just for resale. And if you already have a pool, make sure it's clean, working properly, and it's actually an asset, not a project. Now, same thing goes for major additions, such as turning your attic into a full-blown suite, or maybe adding another wing to your house. The time, the permits, the stress, it's really just a lot. And in most cases, you just won't make your money back. Moving on to the kitchen. Now, this is where a lot of people get caught up. You do not need to gut your kitchen and start all the way over. I've heard someone mention that they were gonna rip everything out, move the island and the outlets. Y'all, that's at least $60,000 that they probably will never see again. So instead of gutting your entire kitchen, go for a facelift. Paint the cabinets, change the hardware, such as the knobs, update the faucet, maybe even switch out the light fixtures if they're outdated. You just want the space to feel fresh. It doesn't have to be brand new. And there's tons of little ways that you can do that without spending a fortune on redoing the entire kitchen. Next up, bathrooms. Another money pit, especially if you go overboard. And I have heard people also mentioning that they're gonna rip out the entire bathroom and just start new. Buyers are looking for bathrooms that are clean, neutral, and functional. They don't need a spa retreat. So instead of gutting the entire bathroom, maybe you can regrout the tile, Update the mirrors, update the light fixtures, paint the cabinets. Another simple project is upgrading your toilet. That is not very expensive. Now, all of these projects that I mentioned are fairly inexpensive and you will see a return because again, everything is updated and new. Now, let's talk about the stuff that people think they have to replace. The windows, the doors, and the roof. Unless your windows are actually broken and letting water in, you do not need to replace them. Same with doors. If they work, you can easily just paint them to freshen them up or even just swap out the hardware. Easy fix. We had some window guys in my neighborhood knocking on doors trying to get homeowners to purchase new windows and doors. They were very informative and confident in their product. These were salesmen. They knew what they were talking about. At the end of our conversation, I found out that it would cost about $30,000 to get all new windows on my home and 2 new doors. $30,000. That's definitely not something I would see the return on. Now, roofs are a tricky one and they're super expensive. If your roof is old, but you don't have any leaks, you can have a roofer come out, inspect it, and have it certified. That inspection report that roofer is gonna provide you will go a long way when you're trying to sell your home. You most definitely don't need to drop $15,000 or more on a new roof unless it's truly failing you. Now, I know someone watching is thinking, but I'd want new windows on my home if I were buying. I hear you, but statistically, windows and doors are usually not something that will sway a buyer either way when comparing homes. Okay, heating and cooling. If your HVAC unit is totally out or barely making it, you probably want to go ahead and address that. But brand new top of the line systems, not necessary. Most buyers just want to know that that unit works and that it's not going to break a week after they move in. If it is functioning properly, you can have your HVAC unit cleaned and serviced, and the company should provide you with a statement or a receipt saying that you did that. Now, if you do need to replace your HVAC unit, you want to make sure you shop smart. Try to find a deal. Sometimes you can find certified refurbished units, so make sure you shop around. We're going to end this video on the small fixes that actually matter when it goes to selling your house. The number one return on investment is paint. Pick a soft, neutral white or beige and paint the entire house the same color. You don't want to get too wild. I've been in houses where one room is painted red from the walls all the way up to the ceiling, or royal blue. And sometimes that can turn buyers off because it then becomes their project if they don't like that color. So it's best to stay with neutral colors. Another small thing is your windows. You want to make sure that they're clean and letting the light in, because that can help when it comes to selling your home as well. Now, some houses I go in do still have wallpaper. If you have some type of outdated 1986 floral wallpaper, it may be best to remove that, especially if it's not the updated kind of wallpaper that we've been seeing in homes lately. Popcorn ceilings. If you have them, maybe you can look into scraping them. It'll modernize the whole house in just one messy weekend. These are just a few things that look expensive, but they're really not. And they go a long way when buyers are walking through your home and it makes them feel good. So to wrap all this up, before you start demoing your kitchen or replacing your windows or renovating your bathroom, ask yourself, will this change actually help me sell my home for more money or faster? If the answer is no, or even I'm not sure, a little paint, elbow grease, and the right strategy go a lot further than gutting your home for resale. And if you're in Middle Tennessee and you're wondering what makes sense for your home, reach out. I'd love to walk you through it. Again, my number is 931-486-4537. And hey, if you found this helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. I've got more videos coming to help you buy smart, sell smarter, and make more confident decisions in the process. Thanks y'all for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.